In this video, I'm going to address the gig worker revolution. This primarily happened as a result of the pandemic. Back in 2016, pre-pandemic, when I first started driving, I felt like a pioneer. There weren't a lot of drivers, it was still kind of something new. I could just get up early, just ride after ride after ride after ride. I was getting 80% of whatever the passenger was paying. That was then. Pandemic hit, boom. Now there's like over twice as many drivers as there was pre-pandemic. So things don't work the same now. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to share with you 5 strategies so that, and I want to say this the way I wrote it down because I like the words. In this video, I will offer 5 strategies to combat the increasing hordes of gig workers so you may maintain your sanity and earn at your desired level. And stick around at the end of the video. I'm going to share with you my own personal struggles with smelling the roses on this journey of being a rideshare driver. So all that and a whole lot more coming up. Hey everybody, it's Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy. Just finishing up my morning protein drink. It's Saturday morning, 9:30 in the morning. Let me just tell you, I'm pretty excited. My daughter, who's in medical school, in her 3rd year, she's crushing it. I'm a very proud dad. Her and her mom's birthday are in the month of October. So I just purchased the tickets for her to fly home for about a week in October. So I'm very excited. I'm going to get to see her in a little over a month from now. And that's always a good time, celebrating a birthday, eating some good meals, usually drinking a little bit of wine, maybe a margarita on the rocks. Yeah. Okay, so by way of background, I'm just going to share with you some information before we jump into the strategies to deal with the gig worker revolution. All right, first from KSL.com. Online gig work is growing rapidly, but workers lack job protections, a World Bank report says. Okay, we know that. From Business Insider. The number of people doing platform gig work, like deliveries on apps in the US, grew by over 150%. So that means, if there were 100 of us pre-pandemic, now there's 250 of us. That's an incredible amount of growth. The demographics of these workers also change as they become younger and more female. However, even as gig work remains prevalent, it's still low paying for many. Well, we're going to talk about that today. From CNN Business, the rise of gig workers is changing the face of the U.S. economy. And then here again from Business Insider, it's indicative of how the pandemic reshaped the economy, as some people have become attracted to gig work as their main job or as a side hustle. McKinsey estimates last year that 36% of the workforce is made up of independent workers compared to 27% in 2016. That's back when I started. So what does that mean for gig workers? Well, it means we are a commodity. And the more of us that there are, given that the number of passengers stays pretty much the same, there's less demand, right? This is why in 2016, I could just drive and get ride after ride after ride. Now I go out, at 4 a.m. and I may get a ride and then I got to wait a few minutes. And then I'll get another ride and I got to wait a few minutes. They're not popping the way they used to. And that's because there's more people like me now out there driving early in the morning, listening to what I've been teaching on this video channel. And they're taking some of the rides that I normally would have been getting. So what do we do about that? That's what this video is about. And I'm going to share with you 5 strategies to maintain your sanity and keep your revenue stream where you want it. Okay, number 1, be the best at what you do. So one thing that we get is tips, and we get 100% of tips. And, that's pretty sweet. So doing the basics, keeping your car clean, having a nice smile on your face, having your car smell good, you smell good, you drive nice and smooth, you greet with a pleasant smile. These are the basics. These are the things that will get somebody to say, yeah, I'm going to give this person a tip. if you're taking somebody to the airport, jump out of your car and put those pieces of luggage in the back of their car. Let them just go ahead and sit down. And when you get to the airport, jump out, pull them out of the car. These are the times that people give you the nice tips, and those tips can make a big difference. Number 2, look for the angles. So this channel, this RideShare Guy video YouTube channel, we share with you a lot of the angles. Working early in the morning, work when other people aren't, find out when the bonuses are. How can you use the tools like the destination filters to like if you have a bonus where you need so many rides, you can use the destination filter on Lyft to just work within a 5-mile radius, so you get a bunch of short little rides, right? That way you can maximize your revenue per hour. Choosing the right rides, the rides that pay you the kind of money you want, and not accepting the rides that pay you less. Okay, these are the angles. These are the things you need to become a master of your profession in order to maintain your revenue. And these are things most drivers don't do, right? They just go out and they drive, right? So even though the RideShare Guy seems like this big, group, there are millions and millions of drivers. So there's this very small percentage of us that are actually studying this and trying to master what we do, and that gives us an advantage. 3, is driving the best gig for you? In this time in our economy, the world is our marketplace. So there are just an unlimited amount of things that you can do rather than drive. I'm an example, right? I've learned how to write and make videos, and I'm combining that with my experience driving. And, I have this little side gig called the RideShare Guy where I get to do, make videos and do some writing and make some money. So what are the things that you do that you could sell as a service? Now, if you think you can't think of anything, go right now to Fiverr. Well, after the end of the video, go to Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. And this is the kind of what the homepage looks like. And you can see this is just under graphics and design, all of these things: logo and brand identity, art and illustration, product and gaming, web and app design, visual design, marketing design, packaging and covers. Okay. And then, that's just under graphics and design. Then you can see that there are other categories: programming and tech, digital marketing, video and animation, writing and translation, music and audio, business, data, photography, AI services. So there's just a tremendous amount of stuff. In my years of, creating my own channel and doing some videos and having my coaching program, I've got, had logos made. I have music. I've had music made. I've had like at least 100 different little things I've had done, and I've always used Fiverr. And I've worked with people from all over the world. So there's a demand, and if you have some skill or you can learn a skill, there's a marketplace for you to sell your skills, and that might be even more rewarding because you're using more of what we call your gifts, right? Your natural talents, and it could also be financially more rewarding as well. Number 4, think about and write down your goals. Okay, so it does make a difference in my experience. Rather than just thinking, I want to make more money or whatever, that you actually think about what you want and you write it down. And somehow the act of writing it down, and you might even put it on a wall, right? Like I have a whole vision board that shows up on my computer screen every time I turn it on. It has some pictures and some things I want to obtain, right? But let me just give you a very simple statement that I have used over the last, since I went to Thailand the first time, so in 2014. I will do work that allows me to travel the world while working from my laptop. I will earn enough to support my life and provide ample retirement. So that's pretty specific, right? I want to work. I want to be able to travel. I want to work from my laptop, and I want to make enough money to maintain my lifestyle and also provide for retirement. So it's important to kind of think and visualize what it is you want. There was a movie called The Secret, which a lot of people really connected with. But it's simple, really, metaphysics. You just, you put a thought in your head, and like thoughts attract like thoughts. And boom, that's as simple as it is. But you got to make the effort to figure out, to formulate what it is you truly want and start laying out some goals for yourself. And number 5, enjoy the ride. Take time to smell the roses. That's a beautiful image, combining a rainbow and I don't know if that's a real rainbow light or if that got painted on her face, but she's got a rose, which is pretty nice. But look, we're in a different place now than we were pre-pandemic. So if you were a driver pre-pandemic, you realize things are different now. Things are a bit more challenging. And what this strategy is, just enjoy it, right? Every time we're faced with a challenge, some other opportunities open up. And if you can enjoy the process of being challenged and keep your wits about you, keep your emotions calm, and just keep looking for the opportunity out of it, it's a pretty amazing time that we're living in, right? I recently did a video about these flying taxis, that there's an opportunity to become a pilot for the flying taxis, right? Instead of driving for Uber, you could fly these air taxis called EVTOLs. I mean, it's amazing what's going on. AI is opening up a whole bunch of stuff. Fiverr, which I shared with you, there's just a tremendous amount of opportunities. And sometimes being forced out of being a rideshare driver might be opening up a whole new world for you. And this strategy is about enjoying the process of discovery, okay? Don't resist it, because if you resist it, it just all shuts down. Embrace it, smell the roses, and you'll be able to achieve much more of what you want to achieve. So what are the key takeaways here? It is what it is, right? 2016, that was great. It had its own challenges at the time. Every time you look back on something, it always seems like it looks better. And I guarantee you, in 5 years, we'll look back at this time and think, wow, look at all the opportunities there were. And, this time will seem like the golden era. So embrace it, love it, just take it on, take on the attitude of, bring it on. What's next? What can I deal with? Because these challenges, I don't know about you, they make me feel alive, right? It's like, okay, what do I got to do, right? You can't just sleep through your life. And I guess that's the key takeaway. We are in the situation that we're in. There are 2.5 times as many people working as drivers, and I've laid out some strategies to support you through it, support me through it, and I hope you found some value in some of my suggestions. If you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, subscribe. We'll bring you a video, 1 or 2 a day. This is Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy saying thanks for watching. Go tell somebody you love them. Have a great day. Be safe out there on the road. Take care.